Hello and welcome back to the First Alert Playbook. Dugan Lloyd here, joined with our first ever guest on the sports program. It is one of our good friends from the Daily Reflector. Thank you for being here. It's Donnell Coley. When you do look at this, you're coming in, this is your first fall, right? Your first time watching this football team. A little bit different now than it might have been a month ago, huh?
Dude, totally different. Hey, thanks for having me out, by the way.
Of course.
Totally different, man. And, it was great, though. It was a great experience. I got to see some exciting cities here in the U.S., so that was fun. And what a season, though, right? I mean, 8 wins, that's awesome. So for my first year to come here, that's pretty cool.
Program definitely going in the right direction, and you end it the way you're supposed to. Back-to-back Military Bowl victories. The issue now becomes the portal, which we're dealing with right now, and in this era of college football, a lot of guys gone. Their quarterback, Caden Hauser, he just said, I'm going to Illinois. You lose one of your best receivers going to SMU and Yannick Smith, J.C. Connor to Vandy, and a lot of other guys, offensive line, defense, they're also in the portal. They're also not going to be on this team next year. When you look at that from your vantage point of watching this team one full season and now looking at a second season, what's kind of the biggest loss you think that they're going to need to replace?
Yeah, where do you start right now, right?
Yeah, that's the question.
There's so many holes that you got to plug up. I mean, but I think it's a quarterback-driven game, so you have to start at quarterback. I know Jackson Ditta really had a good experience his first time as starter, so we'll see about him. But I think you have to get some competition at that quarterback position if you want to compete.
The thing is, obviously, you kind of bring it up. I'm sure they'll bring in some guys. We don't know exactly who's going to be taking those snaps. Is it going to be split snaps? Is it going to be one guy in control? If it is Jackson, though, coming off this bowl game, that's his first, official start. He got some snaps at the end of games this year, but that was our one sample size. What did he show you in that game if it is going to be him at quarterback next year?
I think it's just his toughness, man. Dude just is a baller. I think, you put him in tough situations, he's not going to fold. It looks like, at least from a tough pit defense that he faced. So I think if you get him out there with more reps, it'll look a little cleaner. I know he only completed, a few passes, but I think it'll look a little cleaner if you give him some more reps.
The other thing, too, is he was doing that with a new offensive coordinator, missing pieces on the offense, and, also going and playing an ACC defense. And, when you're there, no offense in the first half, but the second half is why you get your money and why your record is what it is. So he gets it done. We'll see how that goes next year. But obviously the sport in season right now is basketball. Right now the hot team in Minges is the women's team, coming off 6 wins in a row after the big Memphis win. What have you seen from them, and what's kind of been your favorite part of this run? As Kim's really in her groove right now with this team.
Yeah, that's the perfect word. They're in the groove. I think the biggest part is the way they close games. Like, they have a confidence about them. They can go down 10 points at halftime.
Yeah.
They know they're going to be right there in the fourth quarter, and they just I think they get that from their coach. Like, hey, relax. It's just basketball. Do the things we did in practice, execute. And I think that's the fun. Like, that's the most exciting part for me right now. It's just the way that they control the action in the fourth quarter, just like they did in the last game. So, yeah. I'm excited to see what happens.
You mentioned that relationship, too, with Kim and the players. You can tell. I mean, obviously there's a lot of coaches out there, and a lot of players will say, oh, yeah, I love playing for them. It feels real when they talk about it with her, and it's paying off right now as this program really looking in a good spot. Of course, the other team in Minges, not as hot at the moment at 5-9. The men's team just lost their conference opener to Tulane, picked up a player last week, I should say, in Dimitri Gardner. If there is a way to start turning some of these L's into W's, what do you see there? What needs to start happening for them?
It has to start with the guys that are not named Jordan.
Jordan Riley can't do it all.
Jordan Riley and Gio and Maduro, like, those two are phenomenal. Phenomenal players. Like Coach Schwartz always says, they're going to be in the top of the scouting report. And I think when you start getting more players involved and helping and contributing to the team, that's when that identity is going to start popping up, and the wins are going to start showing up for that team. So it's a tall task right now, but hey, maybe Dimitri can get in there, he can get it scoring, and we'll see. Hopefully that's what they got him here for. So let's see if we can do that.
The question, too, you said even after, I think it was the UNC loss, which, hey, no one expected them to go win that game, but he said afterwards, everyone keys on Jordan and everyone keys on Gio every game. It's tough for them to even get their shots. Injuries, you can't control that. They've got a couple guys down this year, but We don't know how it's going to happen, but you still have almost the whole conference schedule ahead, which is the silver lining, if there is one right now, for the Pirates. As for the First Alert Playbook, that is all for this Monday. We will see it next Monday at 2:30 as always. Mr. Coley, thank you as always. Appreciate it.